Yo, still bills. What's the deal, man? Yo, I'm fresh off the clock. I gotta run home, change, and take my son to basketball practice, man. But peep game, bro. We gotta get into it, man. I'm gonna touch on that Shakur Stevenson, him wilding out on the interviewers or whatever, and really speaking truth to power on that. But I'll rap about that later, man. This fucking December 23rd fight might be. I don't think there's ever been a fight card this colossal in the history of the sport. You have legitimate headliners undercarding. When is the last time we seen Deontay Wilder on the undercard? We seen Joseph Parker on the undercard. What about I think his last fight? I forget who. Was it the? I think it was it Zhang versus Joyce? I'm not too sure, but he's on there. Dimitri Bivol does not undercard versus Lyndon Arthur. On top of that, that's honestly a main event. Bro, bro, this is colossal, man. Makmadov versus fucking Caballero, Frank Sanchez versus Junior Fa, Jayo Pataya. This card is like it's an understatement to say that this card is stacked top to bottom. This is like an event in itself. When the fucking gates open up, you need to be at the fights. You need to be at the fights. That's how stacked this card is. You ain't gotta wait 2 and 3 fights in to get good fights. This is like I'm worried about how, like people might fuck around and say, man, yo, this is taking a little too long. It might take away from the momentum going into the into the headliner being Anthony Joshua. And speaking of Anthony Joshua, there ain't nobody who can say anything about that man not being who he is as far as a face of the sport. There ain't shit you can say about that nigga, man. It's the reason why that nigga is on the fucking headliner and nobody else. Jarrell Miller and Daniel Dubois. Oh my fucking god, dude. I'm stoked. I did not know Jarrell Miller was being called. I had no clue. I had no clue. I didn't know Bivol was fighting Lyndon Arthur. I did not know this shit. I didn't know Makhmadov was on the fucking card. I did not know this shit. Philip Hergovich, I did not know this shit, bro. I'm like, these are headliners, Brody. I would have loved to see Zhilei Zhang on the card, but he's fresh off that win over fucking Joe Joyce. It is what it is. But I want to see how Daniel Dubois. I'm really anxious to see how if Big Baby is past it and he's just looking for a bag, which I don't think he is because he's preserved himself pretty well. I mean, shit, he hasn't been fighting much. And if Daniel Dubois is just like, yeah, it's a wrap for you. If you go in there and you get stopped by Jarrell Miller, which I think is a very high possibility because you got stopped by Usyk, but Usyk is a far more quality fighter as far as skill set than a Jarrell Miller. So I'm not, I think that's kind of a toss up fight. And Daniel Dubois has been in there with the better opposition. He's been in there with Joe Joyce. He's been in there with Usyk, as we just saw. He's been in there with the better competition. Jarrell Miller, not as much. Lucas Brown, Gerald Washington, just nah. That ain't Joe Joyce, and it damn sure ain't Usyk. But just the amount of fights on this card is like astounding to me. Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder is going to be a really good fight. That's going to be a really good fight, man. That's going to be a damn good fight. I don't necessarily know who's going to win that fight. That's a really good fight. It's a real good fight. Wilder and Joseph Parker is a damn good fight, Brody. Like, that might be the best. Is that the best matchup on the card? It's a possibility. Both the co-main and main event are really good matchups. And one thing I like that Jarrell Miller did, he barked on AJ. And what did he? And off of that energy right there, it's a certain type of demon you got out of Anthony Joshua. You got that grimace in his face, yo. I'll come over there and slap your ass, man. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking to me. Stop playing with me. Yeah, Otto Wallin was trying to be diplomatic. Yeah, I think he's, he reached his peak and he's kind of, I don't think he said fizzling out. He was a lot more diplomatic in what he said. And Joshua was like, man, dude's just talking about I'm fizzling out, or I'm, you know, what do he say? I've peaked when they don't even know what a peak in their career. He said something like that. Fight back, nigga. That's what I'm talking about. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Yes, talk your shit, man. Talk your shit. Everybody on this card, bro. Every heavyweight right now, bro. Like the majority of you haven't fought. You haven't fought Hrgovic. He was in the running. I've been asking for you to fight Wallin for some time now, at least a year. At the very least a year. He's on that card. You finally facing off with him. Wilder over there, and Wilder's being a lot more cordial in his, in his approach. And I like that. You dig? I like that. I don't, Wilder isn't necessarily an articulate speaker like that, man. He's not no dude. He tries to be this incredible orator, like Ali, like orator, and that's just not. That just ain't him. It ain't him. So he trips over his words. You dig? He doesn't have proper verbiage, no extensive vocabulary. So I kind of like this, where it's like he doesn't try to have to go over and beyond, to get some sort of a rise out of the crowd. Just be cool, be diplomatic. And I think that this is the approach I like from Deontay Wilder, because it ain't all extra out. It ain't all extra out. But he's sitting over there, and even with him saying, "Yo, man, I wish you the best, even if we don't fight." It was kind of weird hearing that from him, but I fuck with it. I honestly do. I fuck with this Deontay Wilder. I do. I do. We'll see how on the next presser. We'll see how that turns out then. But as of right, I fuck with this Deontay Wilder. You dig? But you got Jarrell Miller. Oh, Jarrell Miller. I think after Otto Wallin, I think we need maybe you could have put Jarrell Miller before Otto Wallin, because we need that animal ambition to really, respawn in Anthony Joshua. We need that, and he purged that out of that dude. He purged that out of that dude. He talking about, yo, I'm going in here and I'm steamrolling this. I forget exactly what he said to the dude, but he played to be number line. I'm about to fuck you up, my nigga. I'm about to, even with the man, yo, Eddie, how come you ain't asking me questions? You my promoter. Like, it's just something like, it's looking like he's giving off this niggas got me fucked up energy, bro. Like, I'm irritated, I'm aggy. I'm in my feelings right now. I'm emotional. I like that, because that's the type of Anthony Joshua that we need. That's the type of Anthony Joshua that needs to resurface. And Jarrell Miller being the conduit to all that shit is what the fuck I've been asking for. Those two gotta face off, because they might fuck. It might fuck around and be Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson at the presser. Just being real. That's the type of energy that man needs. That's the type of energy he needs. He needs that rah-rah shit, you know what I'm saying? Niggas just crunching his face up. You know when niggas just finish scrap, they get to doing all these rigid movements with their head and all that shit. Their body get all intense. Nigga like, fuck you talking about, nigga? You playing no games, nigga? Bitch ass nigga? That's what the fuck that's what we need from him, bro. That's what we need from him. That's what we need. That's the only way you gonna get over this hump. You need somebody like Jarrell Miller to bring, to pull that out of you. Anthony Joshua has been very diplomatic his entire career, and I think now that he's no longer a champion, they've been overtly critical of his past two performances. You dig? Like, he didn't look nearly as robotic in his fight with Robert Helenius, and they still found ways to to denigrate him, which he did look a little bit tentative in there. I can't even. I'm not even about to sit here and lie about that. He definitely did look a little bit tentative. And his fight with Jermaine Franklin, you think he's like, yo, man, let me sit back and let me work on some shit. It's not enough. It's not enough. He will always be the target of ridicule. And while he's being the target of ridicule, even though he's knocking niggas out and he's domineering over people, people are still trying to find a way to excuse Tyson Fury's piss poor performance against Francis Ngannou. Oh, he had a bad training camp. And they've even gone as low as saying Francis Ngannou would beat Anthony Joshua. They hear the shit that people are saying. They hear it. And I think that is necessary for him, bro. Because I'm like, just the energy he gave off sitting up there is giving me that yo, I'm like, bro, all of you niggas is I don't fuck with none of y'all niggas. I fought Joseph Parker already. Me and him cool. But you other niggas is expendable, bro. Wilder, all right, cool. You wishing me the best. And I didn't even hear him say, he could have said it, but maybe I missed it. But I didn't hear him say, likewise to you, homie. I didn't hear him say no shit like that. I just heard him like, bite his tongue or whatever. Like, this is the AJ that we need. And I know that's contradictory to what it is that I like from what, I'm saying Wilder being a lot more diplomatic now and civil now. I like that version of Wilder. Normally, I would dig that I dig that in any fighter because that's my character. I'm not no tough guy. I ain't no braggadocious ass, running his mouth ass. That's not my get down. So I dig humility in a fighter, man. But Anthony Joshua is a dude who's just been targeted since becoming a champion, bro. Even with him becoming a champion, they disrespected the man that he took the belt from first. They disrespected the shit out that nigga, but they will still give Luis Ortiz the boogeyman status after he went life and death with that nigga, bro. It's like, god damn. So if there's anybody more deserving of being a dickhead and getting on niggas' noses, is him. It's him. I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm done being humble. I'm done being passive. I'm done with all that shit, bro. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. Well, I ain't never heard Anthony Joshua talk about I'll come over there and slap the shit out of you right now. He didn't even say that shit when him and Jarrell was fighting. Was scheduled to fight the first time at the press conference. He didn't say that, and Jarrell Miller threatened him. I'll come over there and knock that little cute face of yours. So say I won't come over there and slap the shit out of you. He was banging on that nigga. And he turned around, I'll beat you. Ooh, bro. You take all of that aggravation you got pent up over this past year. Everybody who was criticized you in your wins, everybody who was criticized you in your defeats. Now, mind you, even in your defeat, you avenged your loss to Andy Ruiz, but your defeat to Usyk, the individual that they swear to everything is the greatest heavyweight of all time, has been going out of his way to stay away from Usyk. I can't see me getting you 50-50, so 70-30 my way, or we ain't fighting. All right, cool, take the 70-30. You got it. Just send a motherfucking million. Just drop $1 million bag off to the Ukrainians. No fight still. That man is doing everything in his power not to fight Usyk. And finally, they got the fight over the line. And I only think they got that over the line because he feels he has to redeem himself, and nobody is going to accept nothing less than undisputed. Nobody is going to accept that. So Usyk it is. But Joshua got in there and ran with that man twice, and he could have went and fought somebody else. Usyk was too big of a threat. He could have went and fought somebody else. He went and he fought that man. Did what it is that y'all ask every other fighter to do just for him to get trashed when he goes in there and he does it. You take all that animosity and that pent up anger and you take that into the fight and you beat the ever living shit out of Al-Walin. You beat the fuck out of that man. Violate him. Stay on his ass. Stay on his ass. There ain't no way. You shouldn't be giving him no breathing room. No breathing room. You got a month to get ready for this fight. You go and you get ready for that. And you do what it is that I know you can do. You better fuck this dude up. You better fuck this man up. That is the type of fight you need to get ready for fucking for Tyson Fury. Him. You need to be able to deal with a mover. Tyson Fury is gonna fight when y'all finally fight. He's gonna try to revert back to that fleet-footed fighter that he once was. So just in case he still does have a tiny resemblance of them legs that he had years ago left, you're more equipped to deal with it in the now. That's pretty much all I got to say about it, man. I'm stoked. I can't fucking wait. If it's pay-per-view, I'm buying it. I don't think it will be, but if it is, I'm buying it. And yeah, man, that's all I got to say about it, man. I'm about to go in here and get ready to take my son to b-ball practice. Y'all be easy. Deuces.